Hello, folks. I'm back here to remind you that you are the curator of your inner world. Let's talk about something important today. So, a lot of people complain that their manifestation techniques are not working. They are doing it for X number of, weeks, days, months. Some of them are doing it for years. And then there are other people who see some quote unquote movement. Um, I am not a very big fan of this term movement, but I will talk about that another time. Uh, they basically see some indication that they are about to get the thing that they want, or sometimes they even get the thing that they want, but it doesn't stay. It leaves them as fast as it came. So, why are we in this situation? Why are we in a situation where techniques are not working and, manifestations are not permanent? What is interesting here is there is one thing that I really admire about the people who are continuing on this path despite seeing, such outcomes, if I can call it that, is they are not giving up. Good on them. They are still searching for answers and they haven't lost faith in um, what we popularly call the law in this community. Um, so we need to discuss this because the fun part about manifestation, and a lot of people see it this way, is they think that this is something you do in order to get something that you want. Unfortunately, that is not how it is. There are a few people who talk about this, and I will also tell you this. You are always manifesting. You aren't manifesting the things that you are doing techniques for necessarily. You are manifesting everything. You have heard this term in this community, and I will say it as well. You are the source of everything. You are all that is. You are God in your reality. So if you are manifesting everything, literally everything that you are experiencing in your world, are you doing techniques for all of them? The good, the bad, the ugly, the things that are permanent. Think of something permanent in your life. Think of a friendship that you've had for many, many years. You've had since you were a child and you are still friends and you still talk, you still hang out, or maybe you still text your friend. If you call them, they're going to pick up the phone right now. Or at least, if they're at work, they will call you back ASAP or they will text you and ask you what's up. What techniques have you done in order to A, get this friendship, and B, keep this friendship? Anything? Here's a dramatic pause. I'm guessing you haven't done anything. And what you are doing is you are manifesting on autopilot. You're manifesting the identity that you are. So here is a clue on why your technique might not be working or why your manifestations don't stick around. Is you are not the person who would naturally have that thing. Now let me just decode all that mumbo jumbo. So you have to become the person who already has the thing that you want. So if it is love, you have to become the person for whom love is normal. It is abundant in your life. It is just easy. You don't have to put aside 10 minutes to, you know, pop a brain cell and pop a brain, excuse me, pop a vein and convince yourself that, yes, I am worthy of love, I am chosen, I am, all the crazy affirmations people do for self concept. Do you really have to do that? No. Did you have to do that for the friendship that I'm talking about? Of course not. Do you have to be like, yes, I am worthy of friendship? Yes, friends choose me, they prioritize me, they think I'm worthy, or whatever it is. No. It is natural, it's normal to you. You don't think about it 24/7. You don't obsess over it or wonder why it's not there. You don't wonder, when things are going to go wrong and all those things, because you are the identity for whom that friendship is normal. You have to shift to the state. You have to shift to the consciousness of having these things normally. So it's all good to say that you need to do this, but how do you do this? That is the biggest question. And this is something very interesting because when I was learning about the law, the manifestation techniques and things, I just didn't see how, for example, saying something 10,000 times would get me a thing. And then what? Do I keep saying it 10,000 times every day once I have it? How does this work, right? So what we need is a practical guide to making things natural, normal for us. So first and foremost, I want to remind you of the nature of reality and how it works. There are infinite realities, right? And all these states, all these realities are within you, right? These realities are a projection of your state of consciousness, right? And all these states of consciousness are within you. You can choose any state at any time, right? And that reality immediately starts to unfold. Now, the catch here is you can choose any state at any time, provided you do not speak against it. You do not then indulge emotionally in the old story and start reacting to that. So let us take an example. Suppose what you really, really want is to be in a relationship. And you are like, I'm going on all these dates and it's not working, or you like this person and this person, doesn't want to even acknowledge your existence. So what is it that you have to do? You have to go, you have to basically select the consciousness, you have to select the state of already being in a relationship, in the relationship that you want. Now, how do you do this? Step one, important step, become completely present. Come into the present moment. And I will make a separate video about presence because I am, I don't want to say obsessed with it, but this is my favorite topic. Anyway, coming back to the steps, you have to come into the present moment. So just a quick way to do that, you can stare at your hands, you can focus on your breathing, you can maybe focus on 5 breaths, you will come into the present moment. Look around you, look at a specific object in your surroundings. These are one of some of the techniques you could use. There are many more, and I will talk about that in the specific video. Second, you know that I am is what creates. You have watched enough videos, you have read enough books, you've seen, you've heard all of Neville Goddard's lectures, you've done it all. So step 2, declare your I am state. I am this, whatever it is that you want. I am rich, I am financially free, I have this, whatever it is, right? I am in this relationship. Now, remain in the present. And I know how difficult this is. Try to remain in the present as much as possible. Just remain in the present. Just you have declared this thing to be, and just remain there. Just remain in the present as much as possible. Hold on to that feeling of, yes, I am this. You might not get an overwhelming feeling in that moment. You might not get this, oh my God, I am overwhelmed with joy. I just want to bounce off the walls because, I have this much money, or I have this love, or this house, or this car. You might feel nothing at that moment. You might just feel neutral, and that is fine. And that is fine. Just keep doing this because obviously, if you're not used to being present, you will not be able to do it for a long time in the beginning. So just keep doing it again and again. Every time it comes to mind, take a couple of seconds, take a couple of minutes, come into the present moment and declare that you have this thing. I have this. Now, if there is a particular technique that you are following, please do it. Do not be discouraged from doing it necessarily. But when you are doing the technique, whether it is affirmation, scripting, visualizing, etc., it is not a 30-day challenge. It is not a get it in 7 days, get it in 24 hours, or whatever it is. You have it right now in the present. In the present moment, this thing is true. You have to catch the feeling of the wish fulfilled. You have to catch the feeling of this thing being true right now. So let's just go over the steps again. Step 1, become present. How shall you do that? Pick a technique, find a way, stare at your hands, focus on your breathing, focus on a specific object in your surroundings. Number 2, Tell yourself that this is something that you now have, whatever that is, right? And step three, try to hold on to that as long as possible. Hold on to the feeling of having that thing as long as possible. The more you do this, guys, I want to remind you, the more you do this, slowly you will start seeing, and this depends on how much quote unquote resistance you have. I don't like that particular term either. Let's just say how much the old stories have a hold on you, how much you still believe them to be true. You are slowly going to see that you are being able to remain in that state longer and longer. You're able to remain in that state throughout the day. Let that state be there all the time. So imagine putting on, let's say, putting on a new pair of socks, right? So you put it on and you don't think about it the whole day. I'm wearing new socks, I'm wearing new socks, I'm wearing new socks, I'm wearing new socks. When you put it on, you feel good. You're like, wow, look, this is a lovely new pair of socks. I really like this pair of socks. I'm glad I bought it. Whatever it is, right? And then you put on your shoes and you don't quite think about it all day long, right? You just keep wearing it all day long. So where this state of consciousness, where this feeling of the wish fulfilled, um, all day long. Just do it. And every time you find yourself slipping or having arguments in your head or telling yourself how this is never going to happen, oh my God, I have this problem, go back to doing this little technique. Just go back to the present moment and remind yourself that you have this thing, and just marinate in that thought, marinate in that whatever comes up, the feeling, the thought. Don't force any feelings, do not force any thoughts. Just say this and let it linger. Just be in that as long as you can, and then get on with your day. If you had this thing, guys, whatever it is that you want, if you had this thing, you would not be thinking about it all the time. This is a very important thing. And you would not be doing obsessive techniques where you're roaming around with a clicker and saying your affirmations 50,000 times. All of this just causes obsession. Please do not do this, because think about all the things you could have in this life. Are you going to be doing all these things, all these techniques for the rest of your life? Of course not. Especially when you're already manifesting your reality 24/7. You are doing it all the time, guys. You don't need to do anything specific in order to manifest your reality. You would do techniques if it helps you experience the feeling of the wish fulfilled. But when do these techniques no longer become effective? When do the results not become permanent? Is when you do the technique and then you go and you indulge in the old bullshit again, in the old crappy story that pulls you down and makes you feel powerless, like a loser. Remember, guys, you must have heard this as well in a lot of manifesting communities. We are not changing reality. We are not changing anything. We cannot change a particular reality. We cannot change a particular script. We can only choose another reality, because there are infinite realities to choose from. We cannot change the script from within the script. If anyone has read Reality Transurfing, um, Vadim Zeeland calls it a movie. You cannot change the film role from within it. You have to choose another film. Choose again and again. Choose as frequently as possible. That does not mean you suspend everything in your life and you sit down and keep doing this. Please, guys, live your life. Anything you want right now is one aspect, maybe a couple of aspects in your life. There are loads of other aspects of your life which are going well. Focus on those. Spend time with those. Do things that make you happy. If nothing makes you happy right now, I know I've been in that condition at some point. The things I like to do, I didn't like to do them anymore because of my mental state, my inner state. Then, if doing nothing gives you pleasure, find time to do nothing. I know that might not always be possible. Whenever it is possible, find that time to do nothing. But focus on the other areas as much as possible. Remember, guys, if there's something that you desire, that reality already exists. All you are doing is choosing that. You are not doing something to force things into being. You are not choosing something to change the current reality. You are simply choosing another one. And you will very naturally, as you know, Neville Goddard calls it the bridge of incidents, go from this one to that one. You will, right? You will quantum jump or shift realities, or whatever terminology you want to use, right? So guys, please do this. And remember, act like the person who already has it internally, right? Act like you already have it. And that does not mean forcing thoughts, forcing feelings, forcing emotions, forcing anything, or telling yourself off for remembering an old memory and stuff like that. Negative things, beating yourself up for having quote unquote slipped into the negative chatter in your head. No, return again and again. The feeling of the wish fulfilled, as they call it. What is that? Come into the present, tell yourself you have this thing, marinate, soak in that moment, soak in that declaration you've just made that I already have this. What would you feel? Wow, relief, relaxation, probably just blankness, probably neutrality. Think about something you really, really wanted at some point. Say, for example, you wanted to get into a particular university and you did. Obviously, in the beginning, you were extremely happy. You were bouncing off the walls, you were throwing parties, you were calling your friends and your family and telling them, and all of that stuff. But once you started going to the university, were you doing that every day? No. When you think back on it, what do you feel? Just a sort of calm sense of accomplishment, a calm sense of happiness, joy. Wow, I did it. And it's not a very chaotic feeling, let's just say. It's just sort of a serene, calm, confident feeling that, yes, I had at that time I really wanted and I got it. So that is how we have to navigate the present situation. And believe you me, once this thing becomes normal for you, and it will. This is how you manifest everything all the time. You are going to get this. You are going to get this, guys. Pay attention to your inner world, your internal world, right? Why is it important to pay attention to your internal world? You cannot change the 3D, you cannot change the three-dimensional world. You can only change internally. Because as within, so without, your internal world is reflected in your external world, right? It is not the other way around. It is not as without, so within. It is as within, so without. So the only thing we can influence, the only thing we can change is our internal world, right? Trying to influence the 3D without changing internally is going to be extremely futile, as you might have already seen. So let us not do that. Let us take the initiative to not do that. And if you are spiraling at some point, you feel like, I just can't do this. Spiral, do it. It's fine. Let it happen. Don't resist it. Even when you're spiraling, don't feel like, oh my God, I am never going to get this because now I've spiraled. Let it happen. Get through it, because you can choose again. You can choose again at any point. You can change your internal state at any point. Once it's out of you, once you are sort of done, you are finished with your spiral. I will also talk about this in another video. How your emotions might be, I won't say hindering your progress, but sometimes they do hold us back from our desired state. But we shall talk about this in another video. Remember, even your emotions cannot stop you from manifesting your desired outcome, your desired reality. So once you are done spiraling, choose again. Come back to the present moment. Remind yourself that I have this thing. Stay in the present moment before the intrusive thoughts come in, before it all, it's like, oh no, that's not going to happen. Who's ever going to notice me? I'm not this and I'm not that. So before that happens, try to be in that feeling as much as possible. Walk in that feeling. Walk in the feeling of, I already have this. When you go out for a walk, tell yourself, for the next couple of minutes, I'm just going to walk like I already have this thing. Whatever it is, you want to get married, walk like the person who's already married. Be like, you know what? If I was married, how would this walk feel like for me? Just do it. All right. Signing off, and I will speak to you guys soon. Take care.